Yes, Ms. Ullman?
Lee, can you explain to me about the Carnassa Park Homeowners Association? Do we have any, do we have any authority with regard to that?
Not really. Those are private deed restrictions and need to be enforced privately. We've had a couple applications come in the Carnassa Park neighborhood. They also, I think, have design review of any additions or new construction. In the past, the board has acted per the zoning and granted subdivisions, and then the Carnassa Park Homeowner Association has a procedure and will either go to court, or you'll probably hear some of that discussion tonight as to whether or not the proper procedures to allow a subdivision have been followed. But again, they're private and we don't enforce them. I don't know, Alan, did you want to add anything?
Just to reinforce that the role of this board is to review and apply the existing public requirements as set forth in the zoning. There are all types of issues that come up in connection with private restrictions in terms of how they're applied, whether they're still in force, what type of other issues that might be argued about them that this board is, first of all, doesn't have jurisdiction to deal with and is not equipped to deal with in terms of making judgments about standards that might be ambiguous or enforceability. So in short, the Carnassa Park regulations are not a bar to anything that the applicant may propose, and you've laid out what the zoning standards are. Thank you.
But can I ask a follow-up question about that? So does that mean that the deed restrictions, I mean, let's just say that we look at that the deed restrictions are enforceable. They're just not enforceable by us, but they are enforceable in the court of law, correct?
Correct.
So
I mean,
aren't we kind of helping break the law if we know that the deed restrictions are being violated and we approve the I don't know any about the deed restrictions, but
I guess the answer is not really. There are two sets of regulations. We only deal with ours, and ours don't give the applicant any rights to break the private restrictions.
Okay.
They still have to abide by them, but not here.
okay. And did we look at them, or did you look at the deed restrictions, or it's just since they're not our purview, we don't look at them at all?
Basically, I think the only one that's been cited is, well, I'm not sure that's true, but I was going to say no further subdivision, but I'm not sure whether that's the only one. But even if there were more, they're not for us to apply or interpret.
Did you have a question?
I had a similar question, and I just want to be 100% clear, because I'm uncomfortable with this too. If there's some regulation out there that our approval, if we were to approve this, it says nothing about superseding any sort of other homeowners agreement or anything else. So, and the process would be if the homeowners association feels like the deed restriction is being broken, then they have to go to court. Is that the process for
that? It's enforceable privately, and the process would be a court action. And we really don't have jurisdiction to get into that, even if we're uncomfortable about it.
Right. It just feels that, we love lawyers, but it would be nice to have some... I'd rather not be in a position where we're sending neighbors out to sue each other, and but I don't know what options we have.
I think I've been clear that that's not our issue. And I guess Carnassa Park restrictions probably go back 50 years, and the neighborhood has coped with them over that period of time with not much litigation, as I understand it.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
I
Crowe?
just want to comment that, my own property is governed by some separate deed restrictions, and I think that the fact is, if the deed restrictions are clear, we're not sending people out to sue each other because no one's going to want to break a clear enforceable deed restriction. It's just totally not in their interest. They'll get taken to court and they'll lose a lot of money and they'll have to pay the other guy's court costs as well as their own. So I think we're only sending them out to sue each other if the deed restrictions are unclear. And if that's the case, we really don't want to get in the middle of it. Anyone else?
Thank you. We'll turn it over
Thank
to
you,
the
Mr.
applicant.
Solo.